What is going on, everyone? Welcome to 24/7 Football, and this is the 5 Premier League players who could make a major breakthrough season this coming season. And it's been various things, because they may have made a few appearances last season, they may have made no appearances at all, but these are 5 really good talents, I feel, that could really make an impact come next season. So first of all, apologies for not a lack of uploads, because I still uploaded twice last week. It's just, obviously with the run up to the season, I would have liked to have uploaded a bit more, but I've just been going through the process of getting a new job, so I'm buzzing about that. And it's just took a little bit away from the videos, and the videos are going to be a little bit different for the next few weeks, just as I get used to working and how I'm going to upload and stuff like that. But Premier League is back, which we will be talking about this coming week, and I just thought I'd do a little video like this, top five breakthrough players for this season. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you everyone who stuck around as well. So, no particular order, we shall start with Jamie Shackleton from Leeds United, young right back, only 20 years old, soon to be 21, and he's someone who's actually made quite a few first team appearances for Leeds United. He's broke into the team since he was just 17 years of age, made 20 appearances and then made 22 appearances last season just in the league. But obviously that is the Championship. The Premier League is a different gravy. He came on against Liverpool, and I think he had a very, very good performance a few years ago in the FA Cup that got everyone thinking about him. And he's very fast, he's very quick, and as he matures and gets older, hopefully Bielsa can really turn him into a very good starting right back for Leeds United. And I think he's got the potential to as well. I know the fans really like it when a youth prospect comes from the academy to the first team, and I do think that he could be one of many that could come through the Leeds team. You know, we've seen it obviously with Calvin Phillips, what players can do from the Leeds academy into the England side he is now. So Shackleton could be one to watch this season, might get more and more appearances, and the way that Bielsa plays, fullbacks are vital, and if he can play the Bielsa way, and if he can cement a first team spot, you know, it's another good young English right back going into the future. We haven't got many of them. So keep an eye out for him, and like I said, no particular order with this one. Number 4, I don't even know why I'm saying number 4, I'll just say next up because there's no point numbering them, it doesn't mean anything. But Liam Delap from Manchester City, the son of legendary player Rory Delap. Those long throws sent shivers down my spine. But he has got a son, Liam Delap, who is actually playing for Manchester City at the moment. He came from Derby County's academy. He's playing for Manchester City, and he is tearing it up at the moment. Just last week, he got 2 goals against Mansfield. Mansfield's first team sort of, in the EFL Trophy. And it's something that I know Man City fans and pundits alike are keeping a close eye on him. Obviously, he had a father who played for numerous Premier League teams and made a number of Premier League appearances, which not many people can say they've done before anyone tries to bash the career of Rory Delap. But yeah, Liam Delap, one to watch out for. He's big, he's pacey, he's physical, and he's a striker as well. Manchester City, you know, Aguero, Gabriel Jesus, their only strikers. If he catches Pep's eye in training, which he has been training with the first team sometimes as well, could he make a little appearance in the Manchester City first team? And it's going to be big for youth team players of the big clubs this season because of how condensed the season is and how many games there are. You know, you think Liverpool, which we're going to get on to, Manchester City, all the teams that are playing European games, and we know that they like to take the Carabao Cup seriously as well, and the FA Cup. So I think Liam Delap could get quite a few appearances, maybe, if he plays his cards right. Next up, we'll go to Merseyside, and actually we're on Merseyside for the last 3 players actually, and we'll start with Liverpool. They've got 2 players in this list. First of all, it's Brewster. Brewster really burst onto the scene in the Under-17s World Cup, which England won in India, and he scored a lot of goals that tournament, scored a hat-trick as well, and he's one that's been talked about a lot. He had an unfortunate injury not last season, the season before, and last season he was on loan at Swansea where he played very well as well. And I think everybody knows that he's a young English prospect that people are keeping an eye on, and Liverpool probably are as well, which is why I was shocked to see that there were reports that Liverpool wanted to sell the player. I know that Liverpool aren't the best financially at the moment. They've really struggled to reinvest into that squad despite winning the Champions League and the Premier League in the last year and a half. So it was interesting to me to see that they might be willing to let a player like Ryan Brewster go when up front they're not stacking many options, which was a strange one. But should he get picked up by another Premier League club, he's going to get games and he's going to score goals for me. Ryan Brewster scored 10 goals in 20 appearances for Swansea last season. You know, a goal every 2 games is really what you want in a striker, and he's doing it at a young age as well. He's only 20 years old, same age as Phil Foden for that comparison, and I did think that Ryan Brewster, which we all thought, as well as Phil Foden and some other players from that under-17s cup win, that we thought that Ryan Brewster would really make a stride in that Liverpool team. Obviously that injury didn't help in that season, but he's done well at Swansea in the Championship at a young age, so why would Liverpool be reluctant to keep him on for next season? They've got Bobby Firmino, Divock Origi, who can really play in that striker role. They've got other attacking options like Minamino, Shaqiri, Salah, Mane. So apart from Firmino and Origi, who isn't prolific at all, whereas Brewster scored in pre-season, he scored twice in one game. I think Liverpool fans would be upset if he left as well. So it'd be interesting to see what happens, because there's rumours of Crystal Palace, Sheffield United all looking to take him on. So he's not going to be short of suitors at all. And if he does get that move to another Premier League team, then I'd back him to score at least 10 goals this season. I do think he's a good striker, and I do think he will come good. I did say the same about Tammy Abraham last season. I said he'd score at least 15 goals in the Premier League if he was given game time. Fair enough, he didn't set the world alight in terms of his play, but he did get over that target in his first season in the Premier League. So I've got a track record. I've done one. So Ryan Brewster, one to keep an eye on. Another one from Liverpool is Harvey Elliott. Now Harvey Elliott burst onto the scene for Fulham. He was their youngest ever appearance maker. He was the youngest player to play in the EFL Cup when he was playing for Fulham, because he made his debut at aged 15 years, just 15 years old and 174 days, and then he became the youngest player to ever play in the Premier League, aged 16 years old and just 30 days. So 30 days after you have left 15 and gone to 16, you were then playing a Premier League game. So it was instant to see that his talent was there and he was going to be one to watch for the future, because you don't just make a Premier League debut at 16 years old, youngest ever, and not have the ability to back it up. So we didn't see him for too much for Liverpool last season after he made the move. Not too sure what the fee is on that, but he was just 16 years old. He's still only 17. He was born in 2003. See, that blows. I was born 1997, and I'm at that age now where there's younger players really taking it to the next level, you know, like Jadon Sancho, Phil Foden, and it upsets me because my dream is probably over of becoming a footballer. I mean, it was over from, you know, the day I was born. I just didn't have the talent, but I can dream. So Harvey Elliott, definitely one to watch. He's skillful, he's quite quick, and he's tricky as well. Obviously, there's been a few stories about him in the press which you never like to see, because, you know, he's a young man at the end of the day and he's going to make mistakes, and as we're seeing with other players, vilified in the media just for being human. Everyone makes mistakes, it just happens. But the reason why I say this about Harvey Elliott, and I thought the same with Ryan Brewster, even though Liverpool look like they want to sell, and I'll say the same, there's others as well like Curtis Jones. Liverpool have got so many games this season, and my big qualm with Liverpool this season is that as it is so condensed, fixtures will be taking place every few days because of COVID. Liverpool's squad depth isn't there. Their starting XI is probably one of the best in the world. One of the best in the world. Certainly in the top 2 in the Premier League. Whether you think City or Liverpool, I don't care. But the Liverpool starting XI, you can't question it. Squad depth is a major concern for Liverpool, especially when you're thinking they can't sign Thiago. without having to either get rid of Wijnaldum. Imagine if you lived in a world where Oxlade-Chamberlain, Wijnaldum and Thiago were all rotating with Henderson and Fabinho. You know, that's the dream. That's what they have at Manchester City. That's what United are starting to do. You need squad depth. Chelsea are getting it as well. In a way, Arsenal as well. Squad depth is there. If a spinal player of Liverpool gets injured, like a Van Dijk, like we see Henderson makes them tick, or Firmino, or one of that front three, then I think they're really going to struggle, which is why I think that the younger players will get a chance, as we see with Liverpool, in the cup competitions and maybe in the Premier League as well. So it could be a big season for Harvey Elliott and Brewster if he doesn't leave, and of course Curtis Jones, but I only had to limit it to 5 and I didn't want to make it too Liverpool-centric. So watch out for those players that I've just mentioned. And finally, we will end on Anthony Gordon from Everton. Now, Anthony Gordon, 19 years of age, winger, plays for Everton. Everton was struggling for width last season, and Ancelotti knew that they weren't going to do anything last season, and he threw Anthony Gordon in for 11 Premier League games, and he made a pretty decent impact as well. He got an assist, but it wasn't just that he got an assist, it was just how he played overall, and he looks like a very tricky winger. And with this Everton setup that they've got, you know, they've invested heavily into the squad, and not just heavily but rightly as well, because we saw what they did against Spurs. They could be on for a good season this season, but still, in the winger department, they haven't got mountains of depth. And Anthony Gordon just signed a new contract as well. He'll definitely be looking to break through this season. Could he make more than 11 starting appearances? Well, not starting appearances. Could he make more than 11 appearances for Everton this season? And that was just really after the restart, just before the restart, when Ancelotti was playing him in these big games. So if he makes a few good starts and good appearances, we could see a lot more of Anthony Gordon. And we know that with games not being played in front of fans, it actually takes the pressure off, I think, for younger players, and it's a really, really good opportunity for them to break into the team no matter who they are, just because of, like I say, how many games there are, and also the lack of fans as well, because there's not as much pressure. So Anthony Gordon, I think, could really stake a claim for Everton this season, and I would definitely keep an eye out for him throughout the coming season. So that is my 5, not in order. Let me know in the comments below if you think I missed anyone and what you thought of those players. If you don't know any of these players, make sure you give them a watch. Just type them in on YouTube and you'll see that they've got some really good quality coming through at some clubs, and at every club they've got some good quality coming through. It really is an interesting and brilliant time to be watching these youth players come through. I mean, they are the future after all, and we always want England to do well at a World Cup, and these could be the players that take us there. So look out for them. Comment below, like I said. If you are new around here, subscribe to the channel, check out our website 24/7 Football, check out our other videos as well. Like this video, subscribe like I mentioned, and thank you all for watching. We will see you next time.